New York Times investigative reporter Jodi Kantor joins us to discuss the lessons learned from the Hill hearing. She co-wrote the first story about sexual harassment allegations against Harvey Weinstein, which fueled the Me Too movement. The Times won a Pulitzer Prize for that reporting. Jodi's also the CBS News contributor, and she joins us again at the table. Boy, Jodi, you look at that video, and it makes you wince. You look at Anita Hill's face and the questions that she had to take and had to answer. Is this a case of deja vu all over again?
Well, here we are, almost a year after the Me Too movement caught fire around the world, and it feels like we are returning to the original ground zero of these Supreme Court nomination hearings. And the question to watch for in the next week is this a repeat of the Anita Hill dynamic, which, by the way, neither side wants, right? The Republican senators don't want to look like clueless and insensitive men grueling a woman. They may end up that way anyway. And certainly what Dr. Ford's lawyers have suggested is that she doesn't want to be subjected to that kind of treatment either.
And of course, we all remember the Anita Hill hearings, and we were talking about them. That's all the nation could talk about for weeks on end. We seem to be in such a fast-paced news cycle, though. I mean, remember the anonymous op-ed just a few weeks ago. No one's talking about that now. Could that be one of the reasons Republicans want to get this vote through quickly, hoping that the storyline does change a week or two from now? Or do you think this one sticks?
Well, I think they have a lot of reasons for wanting to do this very quickly. But on the other side, Dr. Ford's lawyers are essentially arguing this needs to be done in some sort of fair and sensitive way. Now, the question is what that really looks like, right? It's like both sides are kind of trying to make it up as they go along.
Anita Hill wrote in an op-ed piece that the committee has, quote, learned little from the Thomas hearing, much less the more recent Me Too movement. How much do you think things have shifted?
Well, I think things have shifted considerably in the last year, and also in the years since the Clarence Thomas confirmation hearings. For one thing, this entire discussion is about an alleged incident that took place in high school, an alleged violation that took place in high school. So it's really interesting that we're now discussing that kind of behavior on the public stage. I also think the response to Dr. Ford is very different than it was to Anita Hill. She has been attacked, she has been threatened, but there's also been a lot of sensitivity and sympathy, and she's being hailed by some people as a hero for coming forward. The thing we see again and again that never seems to change is that it is so hard for women to come forward. And Dr. Blasey Ford is someone who's really struggled with the decision about whether to go public or not.
She has a lot of support, and so does he, and they both tell very different stories. So
we should also point out just that she's also getting death threats. I mean,
yes, exactly.
She's also being terrorized.
So is his wife.
So is he. I mean, it's just a nasty situation on both sides. What are you going to be looking for if both of them, we know he's going to testify, and it looks like she is too. What should we be looking for? How do you determine who's telling the truth here?
Well, here's my cautious prediction. I think it's possible that his testimony may be even more dramatic than his, and certainly if there's any cross-examination, that may be true. Because what we can basically see is that she will get up and tell the same story that she told to the Washington Post, which is a story that we already know. However, he's issued this kind of sweeping blanket denial, and there are a lot of questions that are going to be asked about him. You know, how familiar were you in high school? Really, this party didn't happen at all. The allegation is that you were very drunk. If you were drunk, how would you even remember what happened anyway?
And he has a friend there who admits he was a blackout drunk.
Exactly. Will he be called to, you know, the friend says that...
Allegedly, I should say.
The friend says he doesn't want to speak up. Could he be compelled to in some way, et cetera, et cetera. So my cautious prediction, because none of us know what will happen in the next week, is that his testimony could be even more riveting than hers.
All right. Jodi Kantor, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.